In this video, I'll be assuming two things. One, that Monster Hunter World was your first Monster Hunter, or you're just not completely familiar with everything that Generations and now Generations Ultimate will offer. And two, that you're probably well versed in the weapon that I'll be discussing, so this won't be a full-on guide, but rather a quick summary on the differences between the weapons in the two games.
What's the difference?
Hey guys, what's up? Right now I'm going to be talking about the sword and shield. The Monster Hunter team has done a great job at dismantling the idea that the sword and shield is a weak weapon for beginners, as both World and Generations Ultimate have the strongest iterations of sword and shield we've ever seen. I'll quickly go over some of the new things that sword and shield got in World. The first being these Directional Slashes. This is pretty nice because depending on the monster and where you position yourself, you can just loop this indefinitely. This combo is your fastest combo, so it's really good for putting out a lot of elemental or status damage. It does pretty good physical damage too, but as we all might know, this isn't the sword and shield's strongest combo. So the sword and shield's new ability to aerial slash out of the back hop into the downward shield bash is the strongest combo that the sword and shield has. And if the monster's down, it's honestly really easy to repeat this, as you can just cancel out of it with another back hop and just do it over and over again. Once you get used to it, it's really not that hard to do. They got this new Plunging Attack, which is nice, giving it more options when jumping off of a ledge or a cliff, and they added an attack to what used to be just a 2-hit shield bash combo, giving it a strong 3rd hit at the end, which will help you get some more KOs when you're playing solo or with a team. This weapon in World ended up being very strong. Thanks to the aerial combo and what the sword and shield was already able to do, this iteration of sword and shield ended up being one of the strongest we've had yet, and still incredibly fun to play. But will it still feel that way in Generations Ultimate? Honestly, yeah. Everything you loved about Sword and Shield will still be present in Gen U. Gen U Sword and Shield doesn't have this new flashy aerial combo, so our highest DPS combo will actually be a modified version of our basic combo. We do it by doing the first 3 hits of the basic combo and the first 2 hits of the A button combo. This infinite combo being the strongest that the Sword and Shield can do will have a bit of an impact in the style that you use, as some styles will get their A button combos replaced with the shield bashes. Now let's talk about those styles. First off will be Guild, which will have the same moveset that Sword and Shield has always had. It'll be the only style with the unchanged moveset that will be able to back hop. The second is Striker, which is arguably one of the most powerful styles for Sword and Shield. The reason being is that Striker has some of the best hunter arts in the game. The only thing that Striker Sword and Shield will lose as a result of this is just the back hop, so it's still incredibly viable. If you like the playstyle of World where you're constantly in the air, then aerial might be something you like, although keep in mind that it is not nearly as strong as the combo in Monster Hunter World. That being said, it's very good at mounting monsters as you do an attack on your way up and on your way down, and I personally like to use it by supporting my team. You know, getting a mount, and then a KO, and then maybe a status of some kind. Adept is strong as well, as you have the ability to do the regular Adept dodge, or a back hop Adept dodge, which will make you not do the aerial attack if that's what you want to do. One important thing to remember about both aerial and Adept is that you're not able to do your strongest combo. The 2 A hits in aerial and Adept will be switched for the shield bash, and you won't have that option. Brave is incredibly fun as well. Once you fill up your Brave gauge, you'll gain this back hop flip kind of thing, which will make you incredibly mobile. I kind of like to use it against monsters that are really mobile themselves. That way if they're being annoying and hopping all over the place, well then I can be annoying too and hop with them. The last one is Alchemy.
Do a barrel roll!
Which is just Striker with SP support, which is nice for longer hunts and just helping your team out. Now before I talk about these hunter arts that I've been hyping up, another very important thing that Sword and Shield got in Generations is the oils. The oils are kind of like their own mantle effects, except only for Sword and Shield. When you apply these oils to your weapon, they're going to have these different effects that are very good. We have the Affinity Oil, which just increases your affinity. The Stamina Oil, which gives you the ability to do stamina and KO damage on hit, which is incredibly powerful. The green oil, which is the part breaker oil, that's just pretty nice if you're going into a hunt specifically to get certain parts. And the white oil, which is the mind's eye oil, which will stop you from bouncing. Again, pretty good and situational. With that in mind, let's go into the hunter arts. I'm going to start off with the newest hunter art, which is Chaos Oil. When activated, you'll apply all of the oils onto your weapon at the same time. Not only that, if you then manually apply any oil yourself, you'll stack it onto the oil that's already activated. So if Chaos Oil is activated and you use another Affinity Oil, you will double the amount of affinity you're getting. If you use another Stamina Oil, you'll increase the amount of KO value per hit on the monster as well. The Mind's Eye Oil activates very interestingly. If you use it, it'll become a quick whetstone. Now just look at how fast it sharpens your weapon. It's very useful, so even if you don't use the Mind's Eye Oil, you want to keep this in your bag if you know you're going to be using Chaos Oil for the fight. The next hunter art is Round Force. It's a pretty strong attack, it kind of reminds me of a Link spin, and aside from doing decent damage, it also gives you invincibility frames while you're in the middle of it, so it's actually good for dodging attacks as well. Keep in mind that when you're using the highest level of this, level 3, you will knock your teammates into the air, so it's good to just use level 2 if you're playing online. It does the same amount of damage and you just won't knock around your team. The next hunter art is Shoryugeki, which is pretty much just an uppercut shield bash attack. It does pretty good damage, but it does a lot of KO damage, so it's pretty good to either help you net that KO or just get it pretty close so that you can finish it off with your weapon. And last but not least is Sword Dance. This one is just a nice high damage sword combo for the sword and shield, and since it's a bunch of hits, it can do a lot of status and elemental damage as well. When it comes down to just having fun, all of the sword and shield styles are very fun to play and they're good at what they're meant to do. But when it comes to the most damage, you'll often find yourself using Striker, as you don't lose anything too valuable, you have the strongest motion values, and you have 3 hunter arts. Guild is still powerful as you still have your regular combo and the ability to back hop, which when used correctly can be very offensive as well. Brave is another decent option for damage too, as once you're in Brave mode, you'll have your strongest DPS combo back, and since you'll become so mobile, it'll allow you to stick on otherwise annoying and fast monsters. Overall, both iterations of Sword and Shield are very strong and incredibly fun to play. You'll have an easy time, honestly, switching between World and Generations Ultimate and then back to World, which is really good if you plan on going back in between the two. In both games, the weapon is strong, it's aggressive, it's versatile to either play alone or with your team. It has a very easy time getting aerial attacks thanks to how it interacts with ledges and cliffs. It can still use items with the weapon drawn. That wasn't a new thing added in World, it was already able to do that. And it's just a very good, easy to pick up weapon in both games. If Sword and Shield was your main in Monster Hunter World, then I think you're still gonna love it in Generations Ultimate. Hopefully this helped you see some of the differences and kind of give you an idea of what to expect and what to look for when you start playing Sword and Shield in Generations Ultimate. Thank you guys for watching, and happy hunting.